That's good. Which
Which
place?
I'm from Lalbagh, Old Dhaka. Do you know the place?
Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's very near to my house. I'm from Chatrabali.
So where are you from? Jatrawari. Yeah, I know this place.
You know, the Leningrad of Dhaka is Jatrabari in the last revolution of July, August.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is brutal things organized there, especially in Jatrawari police station. There are a lot of
Yeah,
people died,
I saw,
especially in a
I saw
common and
people
police.
dying in front of my eyes. That's very horrible.
So are you participating in the movement that time?
Yeah, I was in the strike. Not, but not
Oh,
every
that's
time.
great.
Sometimes, because you know, my father,
Oh
mother
yeah,
don't
yeah.
allow me to do it. So I have to
Not
go
only
there with.
not only your parents but also all of our
Yeah,
friends
I
who are
agree.
younger because they afraid because you know that Sheikh Hasina tried to kill every people and he also
Yo,
ordered
guys,
some
Not,
police
guys,
not,
guys,
just
that
guys,
not
you
to
should.
try.
guys,
She did that.
guys.
She did
If I
that.
can interrupt you guys, if I can interrupt
Yeah,
you guys, does anyone actually who wants to talk about veganism?
Sure, man.
yeah,
Sure.
you can talk
But
about we are discussing about our country because we are
why not?
from the same country.
Yeah, but this is not
We're
the
not
space for
this.
it. This is not the space for it. Here we do vegan activism, right? If you guys want to
Yeah.
continue
There
talking,
is
that's
no.
So
fine. Just move to another channel, all right?
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
you can go as so it's totally your wish because
VPM.
most of the people
Can
and
you could you
most
please say that again? I don't hear.
What didn't you hear?
you don't hear my voice.
I mean, what you have said, I don't, I can't hear that. Could you please repeat that again?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just say to you that
No, no, not
yeah, you
you.
can finish.
me, me,
Video.
me, me,
I'm,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I was asked to repeat. Okay, so this is a channel for a specific thing. This is a channel for vegan activism. We are here to talk about animal ethics. And as riveting as that conversation is, it's just like this channel has a theme, and you can just go to any other channel, any other voice channel to talk. Or you can stick around and talk to us about animal ethics.
Well, thank you. Thanks to correct us. Thank you.
Sure, not a problem. Would you like to talk about animal ethics, Justice Forever?
I don't know about, actually, in my country, there is no concept of vegan or vegetable. Actually, we guys are both. So we don't have any confusion about that. Actually, we don't have that topic. So I want to learn what you guys are talking about. That's why I joined here just now.
Oh, awesome. So you don't have to answer, but can you say where you're from?
I'm from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
It's located Southeast Asia.
Yeah. I know where Bangladesh is. Bangladesh is incredibly vegan friendly, and I had quite a few people talk to me about veganism from Bangladesh. So it's kind of strange. Maybe like in your area, there is no conversation about animal ethics, or like, oh my god.
So we can switch another topic. So what kind of topic you want to discuss? Is there any
No,
specific
this is
topic?
the only. No.
You?
This is the only topic we discuss here.
Yeah,
We
brother.
only
Just
talk about animal
just
ethics here.
read the channel name, then you will you can clarify yourself by reading the channel's name. It's vegan or better, and that's a question mark. So yeah, that's the topic.
Yeah.
We have
For
to talk
any
about
other
that.
topic, you have other channels that are also topical. It's like if you go to politics channel and start talking about not veganism, but like because it's veganism and politics have something in common, but talking about what colors you like, it's a bit inappropriate. But you can do it just in another channel. All right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why I am like me? Why I am join this group? Because my main purpose to I just improve my speak in English. That's my main motive. So I just try to speak other people about a different kind of topic. But as a beginner, we just try to describe what kind of topics are most common for our, and that would be
Yeah, not in
easily
this
for to
again,
describe.
not in this
So,
channel. In this channel, we talk about animal ethics. You want to talk about anything else? There are like 10,000 channels in this
now-
server.
Yeah. I'm interested about
We have to
animals effect. So what kind of, how do you think the climate effect decrease the animals across the world? I have a
Well, that
question for
doesn't
you.
matter.
You just
Here we
describe.
talk about animal ethics. It doesn't matter. There might be a need
animal
for a
effect-
channel about
Yeah,
ecology and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is getting out of hand. So let's be very clear, right? Let's be very clear. I think VPN, they have like repeatedly told you now what this room is about. Either, like, there are just two options. Either you accept this condition or you do not. And then you, maybe it would be better to everyone that, so that they should leave, right? But the question that is on the table here is right now, do you actually care about animal exploitation?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, and she go there. She just interrupt our speaking. So now we can discuss.
Okay.
Can you hear my voice, brother?
Okay, yeah, so then I think PM can go
Don't
on with
forget
you
that.
if you...
Don't forget that. Forget that.
Guys,
Let's
you
on a
cannot
topic about
hold on.
veganism.
Guys, if you keep interrupting, hold on. Only one person has to speak at a time, please. Right, because I want to make it a bit structured here. So I think VPN can now carry on, because this topic is about animal exploitation and whether we should respect animals or whether we should consider them, right? If you want to speak about anything else, you're free to leave this room.
Yeah. We just discuss about this topic. But I have a question,
Okay.
like why any
Gautam.
animal are destroyed day by day?
Wait. Calm down, guys. Calm down. Please calm down.
Who was the
Uh,
first person
just forget
asking
that
the
thing.
question?
Justice, I'm just gonna give you like a brief cool down,
Okay.
okay? And let's now carry on, please.
Yeah, I'll moderate for you, Val. I'm here.
Yeah, no, it was actually VPN's turn. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Justice, it's just a cool down for you. Keep in mind to only speak when it's necessary.
Yes, Badan. First of all, you are in a
Justice,
bit confusion.
Justice,
That's why
please,
you-
Justice. No.
Yeah, he's just gonna interrupt. Okay, Post, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know what I'm going ahead about. But unless
Hey,
let's have a
Justice
conversation.
भाई, hey Justice भाई, अपना हमारा message then.
Hey, wait,
Okay.
brother. Why
Right.
you just speak to me?
Justice.
I'm
Justice.
trying to.
What?
I'm trying
Justice,
to.
I will warn you the final time, the
that-
last time. Otherwise, Justice,
No,
I
it's
will warn you
fine.
the
It's
final
fine.
time.
Val, I'll just say this once. I'll moderate for you. Justice, if you say anything, I'll just kick you, okay? For 24 hours.
Okay. So forget that. So I'm here just to.
I'll just kick him for 24 hours. Okay.
Hello, hello everyone. I have a question for now. Why are you guys arguing so heatedly about vegan?
Yeah, because
Please,
if we are not vegan, there are victims to our actions, and the victims are innocent and don't deserve to be exploited and slaughtered for unnecessary things for us, right? That's why we talk about veganism.
Ah, I see.
Does that sound does that sound fair? G?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you vegan?
Yes, but I became vegan just some days before some days. I've changed my mind to be vegan. But I didn't understand why it's important to be vegan. So I've asked you about it.
You're vegan, but you don't know why it's important to be vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So do you know what veganism is, or
Sorry?
what do you know what veganism is?
Veganism is unnecessary killing animals.
No, it's opposing exploiting and killing animals unnecessarily. It's opposing that. So veganism is against unnecessary exploitation and slaughter of animals.
Sorry, I'm learning English too right now.
No, you're doing fine.
I can't understand some words and some I can't hear some words when you're speaking. So please tell me more slowly.
Sorry, is my mic cutting off? So can somebody feel it?
No, they said that they do struggle a little bit with the language, so make it a little bit
Okay.
easier for them to understand.
Okay. So veganism is against exploitation and
Okay.
killing of animal. Exploitation means unjust use. So against using animals unnecessarily and unjustly. Is that easier? I don't know.
Yes, I know veganism from he's from England. So she are teaching me about vegan and why it's important to vegan and to be vegan.
Yeah.
So I'm learning about vegan and I'm being vegan in my country.
Sure. So we are vegan because if we are not vegan, animals are our victims. And sorry, somebody is really hot micing.
He left.
Okay.
Okay. I will ask about vegan more detail later. First discuss. Continue. I'm just listen about your discussion.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody
You
is
just wanna-
here to discuss. Yeah, understood. They just want to listen, right, Felix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Well, when somebody comes in, we can have a conversation with them, I guess. What's up, Felix?
Hey,
How you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good.
Feels good.
Oh gosh, it's really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
hot today, and the construction outside. Yes, it's still going on. I don't know what they're building, but it sucks. It's really loud.
I see. I got you.
Yeah. Let me just address some people in chat for a second. Why do we have canine teeth? So in primates, which is what we are evolutionarily, canine teeth have actually very little to do with diets. Other teeth are, and our teeth are omnivorous, but canine teeth specifically in primates are for like intimidation and like what is it called? Looking more intimidating and getting sexual partners. That's what our canine teeth are for, and they are tiny. They are the smallest canine teeth in all primates. So that has nothing to do with food. But even if it did, even if our canine teeth were for eating meat, that kind of is relevant in the 21st century because we have all those technological advances that make our agriculture incredibly efficient. Well, at least in case of plant agriculture, animal agriculture isn't. And we have all of those, like supplements, right, that we can take instead of eating animal production, making eating animals unnecessary and therefore incredibly cruel swine. So that's why canine teeth, even if they were for what you are saying they are for, that doesn't matter in the 21st century. We're not in nature surviving and starving anymore. We go to a grocery store and we choose products. So all we're asking as vegans is just like move your hand and take a product that is vegan. That's it. And like move your hand a little further and get a multivitamin and a vitamin B12 on top of that, and done. Yeah, we're supermarketivores, I guess. That would be correct. Meat is too nutritious to give up. Cavemen ate meat. It's not actually incredibly nutritious, like especially the way most people interact with food. And I can show you this if you're looking at my screen that I'm sharing. I'm actually gonna, where is it? Beep, 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 beep. 1 second, I'm actually gonna show you that it's not very nutritious. In addition to veganism, oh, I can never fucking find it. I guess it's not in here, maybe it's in nutrition and health. There you go. So yeah, when people say meat is the most nutritious, only if you eat like organs, if you eat like heart, kidney, liver, all of that stuff. But actual meat is not really, like there's poultry meat, it's not very nutritious as you can see. Bovine meat is even lower, I think. Bananas, let me find that. There you go, bovine meat, it's a little higher actually. So that's poultry meat, that's bovine meat. And by meat here, they mean skeletal muscle, which is how most people eat. Most people eat skeletal muscle. And like a bunch of stuff that are like more nutritious than that. Root vegetables are, oils are, lemons, limes, cocoa beans, tomatoes are incredibly nutritious. You know, it's only when you look at like offals or meat as a global thing, only if you eat hearts and shit, and pancreases and spleens and all of that gross stuff, then it becomes nutritious. But that doesn't matter either, because all you can do is just like eat other nutritious food and your nutrition is gonna be fine, right? You don't have to get all of your nutrition from one food. In fact, it's better to like vary it. You know what I mean? Vegans don't believe water buffalo shouldn't plow rice fields. Yeah, absolutely. It's exploitation and it's unnecessary. We have these things called tractors now. Why would we exploit animals? It's so inefficient as well because that animal needs to eat actual food. So you grow food and then you feed a lot of it, like 40 kilograms per day to a bull. Why? Or to a buffalo bull, I guess. In this case, it doesn't matter that some teeth are for tearing, other teeth are for grinding swine. So our back molars are for grinding, and front are for what you said, tearing, right? But also our front teeth are kind of blunt. They're not really good at tearing. That's why, like, if you eat like completely raw meat, it's kind of hard and chewy. It's really difficult to chew. Even people who eat raw meat, they age it. So they use the bacteria to break it down, right? So not really, but also highly irrelevant in the 21st century. If you cook tofu in an oven, it will be chewy and you're gonna have to use your teeth to tear it, right? It doesn't matter. Splicing that grass and pears makes a lot of sense to you. Well, you can just eat varied food. There is like vegan food or plant food, you know, that you have to tear, other food you don't. It doesn't matter. 21st century, you have a dentist and you have other food to eat. So it's irrelevant, is what I'm trying to say, right? Our evolution is far, far behind us. We, for 10,000 years, have taken ourselves out of nature slowly but surely. At this point, we are zero in nature, basically definitionally today. Nature means everything that isn't human-made. So highly relevant, right, to the conversation. But those farmers I've seen in Asia, listen, this is solvable. We can just send them some tractors, right? Like a small tractor, $10,000, can help those poor farmers, right? They don't have to exploit animals. And, you know, those can be like biofuel tractors as well, so it's green and shit. We don't need to exploit animals anymore in most places, and those places that are not, they're just gonna go vegan last, right? After the entire world went vegan, we can just send them help to do that. You think cow farts are bad? Wait till you ride a Prius. Well, you can do neither, right? I don't have a car and I don't eat beef. And by the way, beef is one of the most polluting things in our food system. So like, if you care about the environment, right, you probably should drop beef, right? This is beef. Hold on, let me make it a little bigger. Oh, it's gonna be hard here. There you go. So this first line, that's greenhouse gases from producing 1 kilogram of beef. That's a week for most people, the way we interact with beef these days. In 1 week, you grow like 30 or 40, you make 30 or 40 times more greenhouse gases than like these other plant foods. Like even like those other plant foods combined, like they're basically not gonna come even close to this one item of food in your pantry. So you probably, if you care about the environment and you didn't just say that, you know, to like, I don't know, call out hypocrisy or something like that, you should definitely drop beef and most animal products, because next is lamb, after that is cheese, after that is beef from dairy herds. You know, it's just like bad news for the environment, and it's all of our environment, you know, so like, I think it's legit that everybody should like do something about it, you know what I mean? So I am live again Wednesdays and Fridays. I really try. Next week I can't do Wednesday, I think. I'm just gonna do Friday. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll go Tuesday instead. I don't know. We'll see. Why has no one ever presented a reasonable counter argument against veganism? Well, people are kind of uneducated, in my opinion. What's up, Leger? Hello, Luis. Nothing is happening in VC right now, so that's why I'm talking to you guys. If anybody has questions, like this site that I have, right, I've basically collected all arguments against veganism, and I'm answering them slowly but surely. So if you have a question that prevents you from going vegan, please, there are like 79 people watching, please ask. You know, it's just going to be one more thing to like, you know, just see if your stance is consistent, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it happens to everybody, like it's a human condition. That sometimes we just like use excuses to not do something that might be unjustified, right? They might be wrong. Some excuses are not wrong, others are. Let's work it through it together, and then maybe you can like, you know, like go vegan. It's definitely better, I think, to not exploit and slaughter animals than it is to exploit and slaughter animals. So if you have questions, guys, I know I'm making you like, I know I'm making you subscribe. It's just like to reduce the amount of trolling on these live streams. Like imagine about like 60 of you came into the chat and started all talking together. That would be kind of weird. What about raising your own cattle using sustainable farming techniques that prevent overgrazing? Well, all of those are like environmental things and not animal ethics, which I understand why you're asking, but I would prefer to talk about animal ethics first. I'm going to call you E because of your green icon. I apologize, I can't read Arabic yet. I want to learn one day, but every time I start, it's kind of hard. Sorry. So the animal themselves, you're still going to exploit and slaughter them, and that's what we are actually against. The fact that it's environmentally better to not exploit and slaughter animals is just a bonus, right? But like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to raise cattle. The most sustainable farming would be plant farming anyways, because you have to, like, even if you like feed animals grass only 24/7, 365, that grass still needs to be either have like huge amount of acres of it, and then you'll have like 4 acres per cow or something like that, which is kind of ridiculous. Or you're gonna have to sow that grass. You're still gonna have to like sow it and water it and all that stuff. And usually you put an animal in a barn for the winter, and that's just gonna be miserable for the animal, anyways. But exploitation and slaughter is what we're against, and not necessarily environmental footprints. That's just a bonus. Environmental footprints of vegan diets are way smaller than than any omnivorous diet, right, guys? I honestly get what you're saying, but do you think the human race would be alive today? You know, Neanderthal ancestors was vegan. Well, first of all, Neanderthals are not really our ancestors. There was a bit of interbreeding, but Neanderthals were like a separate species. We are hominids, so I mean, I guess Neanderthal are also hominids, but we are Homo sapiens. That's separate from Neanderthal. But I understand the question. Like in the past, it might have not been viable. Maybe, I don't know. We have some evidence, but not others, that like plants were a big part of our ancestry. Like tubers were easier to acquire than going out and slaughtering an animal. But it doesn't matter, because today we are not in that situation. We are not in a survival situation, right? Most of us, like 99.9% of us, just go to a store and just like grab food off the shelf. So all we're asking is like to grab food off the shelf that didn't exploit an animal, didn't slaughter an animal for it. You know what I mean? So I think that would be better. What about areas that don't get enough rainfall and where people get most of their calories from meat? Well, then grass won't work either, right? Then you still like have to like feed the animal. So trophic levels, I kinda not in the favor of raising animals. I hope you're watching, right? So this is the trophic level. That's how function like ecosystems, whether natural or man-made, which is what we're in, are made, right? So we have producers. Producers are plants, and they produce like for every 10,000 calories, an animal eating those plants, you lose 9,000 calories, basically, right? So if you are a secondary consumer on this pyramid, then you've lost shit. How much? That's 10,100. That's 9,900 calories you've basically lost by eating animals. Sorry, no, you lost 9,000 calories by eating animals instead of eating plants directly. So even if there isn't a lot of rainfall, you actually would be better to eat plants, to plant plants, instead of like growing grass that also needs water. Come on, guys. Like it also needs water. That's the issue with it. And I want to show you one more thing, right? Because there is something that is happening in Senegal, if any of you are in Senegal or in Kenya, that is like kind of insane. They're dropping Senegal, Africa, very poor countries, very like desertous, right? Very little rain. They can't feed their cattle anymore. The cattle is literally eating all their food. So they drop the food, the cattle raising and all of that stuff, and they started growing crops instead. And there's this ancient system that they're using to like retain water. But it grows like now Senegal, on the border of Senegal, they grow this, and they're actually stopping desertification like this. But like imagine if cows were fed all of these greens instead of humans, right? This food that they're growing goes towards humans. Like imagine if it went towards cattle, then you would lose 9,000 potential calories here, right? So if you are in a desertous place, it would actually, sorry, I don't know why that does, it would actually be better for all of those places to go plant-based. And because the loss of calories, that's basically it. Hey, what's up, the new guy? Do you get people who is simply not supposed to be vegan? Well, I don't know anybody like that. I think if you're on the internet, that kind of means that you have the same privilege that I do. That kind of means that you get your food from a grocery store and you can just get vegan food. I don't know what's supposed to mean. We are omnivores. We can be plant-based pretty easily. Just use it like a supplement and we're fine, right? Just like use a B12 supplement, or in my case, I'm a big advocate of using a multivitamin and a B12 supplement on top of that, because that just takes the pressure of getting everything, all the nutrition right. And by the way, omnivores are kind of waking up to this as well. Multi-supplement is just the best way to prevent deficiencies, even in omnivorous people. Omnivorous people are the biggest consumers of multi-supplements, right? What about flavor? Well, the flavor kind of changes all the time, CP3. So if you stop right now eating animal products for like a month and start eating everything else, right? At first, some of the things are going to be kind of hard. They're going to be like weird because you haven't eaten them before, right? So like tofu, you need to kind of learn how to cook it the way you had to learn how to cook meat, right? Because if you just like drop meat in water, that's going to be disgusting. You have to learn how to cook that shit. The same goes for other plant foods, right? You just have to kind of learn how to cook them, and you add spices. Spices are vegan, and a big part of like why animal products taste so good, right? But about after a month, CP3, yeah, all go great on steak, but all go great on tofu as well. And a steak had an animal exploited and slaughtered for it while crying, by the way. But the tofu hasn't, right? So like choosing the foods that are the most compassionate to animals, I think is the way to go, frankly. I think if you care about being like morally consistent, compassionate person, I think you should go for the plant foods. And my point is that flavor kind of changes, and after a month, you start craving, you start really liking your food. And you kind of almost forget about what you ate before. That's how our taste buds work. Our taste buds change really rapidly every 3 to 5 days. And so if you feed your taste buds a different food, at first it's going to be weird, but then it's going to change and you're going to crave it and you're going to like it in most cases. But these animals live and eat well for most of their lives and die at a decent age. Well, no, not really. That's actually wrong. The animals, first of all, in animal agriculture, they die as babies often. They die incredibly young. So cows are killed at 18 months, usually 18 months to 2 years. And cows can live up to 25 to 40 years. Chickens, well, CP3, can you, like, without Googling, can you tell me how old chickens are when they're killed for meat? like, spoiler alert, they're really, really tiny. Localized means nothing. Localized, you can live next to a factory farm, but also they're still killed in localized farms. Local farms still exploit and kill animals. So, and that's what the ethics is around. It's not around welfareism. It's not around just bad treatment of animals, which also happens, of course. You raise chickens, so it depends. Yeah, but like 80 to 90% of chickens that are raised for meat commercially, when you go to a store and you buy them, that's 4 to 6 weeks. They die as literal babies. And then there are actual literal babies that are killed for eggs, for instance. So when egg hens, when they're born like half of them are male, half of them are female, and the males are ground up alive or choked or just thrown in a bin that same day when they're born. So because they're like a byproduct, nobody wants them because they're not gonna lay eggs. So that's literal babies going to slaughter immediately in a macerator, and it's horrific when you watch it. And if you want me to show you proof, I will. It's horrific. Commercial farming is disgusting, but I think the issue isn't with carnivorous behavior, but rather capitalism. Both. Look, CP3, when you view an animal as something to produce for you, they're gonna be exploited and slaughtered in a bad way because they're gonna be objectified. That's just a matter of fact. When you look at a sentient animal, let's put it like this, right? When you look at a human as someone to exploit, as someone to profit from, their even welfare is gonna be secondary to how much money you can make from them. And if you can make more money by mistreating them, well, that's gonna happen. But the fact that they are there is already mistreatment. Like, slaughter is not humane. Slaughter is not a good thing. It's not in the best interest of the animal. It's not nice. It's not peaceful. And it's completely unnecessary. We can just be without it. Yeah, exactly. So you have animals that are exploited for eggs, hens, egg-laying hens, right? After about 2 years, and chickens can live up to 10, they're slaughtered because you can't so the farmers can't use them anymore. So they're sent to slaughter, or they're gassed to death where they are. There's like a foam gas that just like suffocates them. Where they are, it's horrific, and that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about that animals that are exploited for farmers are a priori going to be mistreated. Because wouldn't it be better, even after you exploited an animal, just let them continue living? That would be fantastic, right? But holy shit, they can't, because animals need food, and a farmer who's exploiting animals is not going to pay for their food when they're not producing. So that's mistreatment, that's exploitation, that's where exploitation leads to. And it's not just capitalism. In socialism, the same thing would happen, right? Because you need to feed, you bring animals into existence. You need to feed them so that they live. That's how animalness works. That's how animals, including humans, work. And when they can't be exploited anymore, why would you, as a farmer who exploits animals, why would you give them food for them to die their natural lives? Can you imagine? And then if you're an animal exploiter, if you're a farmer, you need to replace those hands because your business depends on creating eggs, right? Producing eggs. So now you're gonna have decades of animals stocked one up on top of the other that you are feeding. In 10 years, you're gonna have 5 times more animals, like 80% of the animals that you are feeding are not gonna be producing anything for you. Why would you feed them, right? this is where exploitation of animals leads. It always leads to mistreatment. You just have to like open your mind to the proposition that we can do without this. We can live without this. We don't have to do this to them. We don't have to exploit animals. So either you eat them, or the folks does eventually. No, those animals shouldn't exist. We breed them into existence. It's not like we're plucking them out of nature and bringing them to a farm and like protecting them and exploiting them. No, we make them, we create them, we breed them, right? So if we just stopped breeding these animals, they wouldn't exist. They would not be eaten by a fox. And by the way, you were talking about like local farms. On local farms, rather than on commercial farms, it's much more likely, or by local you mean small, I'm guessing, it's much more likely that the animals are going to be eaten by a fox anyways, because small farms are in the middle of nature and have like much less resources to actually like defend these animals so that you can continue to exploit them, right? None of this is altruistic or anything like that, right? Nothing good happens there. Like, at this point, I've read so many posts by like backyard farmers, like backyard chicken egg farmers, and like small space farmers and all of that, saying like chickens are incredibly prone to be sick. It's like they're saying, oh, my chicken is sick, but I'm not going to take them to the vet because that costs a lot of money. So it's mistreatment because they don't even view that animal for who they are. They're not thinking of their best interest. They're only thinking of exploiting them in the cheapest way possible. And a vet is out of the question, so that animal is just going to lie there and die. Slow, agonizing death, or as you said, be eaten by a fox, when that animal shouldn't have been existed in the first place, CP3. I hope that's kind of clear. Yeah, profits, personal benefits, all of that trumps even welfare. But we are here not advocating for welfare. We are advocating for ending exploitation, breeding, slaughter of animals in the first place. You know what I mean? I am vegan, but every vegan friend I had always lashed out when I said that I vote for Donald Trump. Well, we don't talk about politics on this channel, although I have a really, really good Donald Trump impression in one of my latest videos. And if you want it, Alan, I'm going to paste the link to it in the chat if you want. Listen, politics are kind of messy. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why people get upset about specifically Donald Trump because he's violating rights of people, and vegans are generally against rights violations, right? So it could be, but both sides kind of could be wrong about a bunch of stuff, right? So let's not go into politics here. We're talking about animal rights, animal ethics right now. If anybody else has any other questions, CP3, let me know if things that I said made any kind of sense to you. And if they're not, well, maybe we can even have like a voice discussion if you want. So you care about animal rights but not human rights? Well, listen. I think politics are a matter of perception, kind of. I agree with you, E, I understand, but it's not like, I don't think Alan views it as like not defending human rights, you know what I mean? He views it, you know, he just has, he's violating human rights really greatly right now, in my opinion. But let's not talk about politics. Let's not fight about politics. This is about animal rights. Animals deserve their own channel to talk about, you know what I mean? Or like for people to talk about them without invoking other political issues. Although veganism is a political issue as well, right? So for instance, one thing I will give to the right wing in America right now, they're trying to abolish animal testing for the wrong reasons. This is not for animal welfare or rights, right? They're abolishing it for the price tag. It's pretty big, and just its complete inefficiency. So, whatever, things happen. Right, if anybody else has any questions that are not Trump related, Alan, let me know if you want to see my Trump impression. It's pretty good, I was told. I was told by American people it's pretty fucking good. Yeah, you have a question, Benji, go. You're number one, by the way. Holy shit. Best of luck. We might rejoin the VC in a minute. But I've really appreciated the questions so far. If anybody else wants to ask other questions, please welcome. Again, I'll say to new people, newcomers, I understand I'm asking for you to subscribe. It's just to reduce trolling. So like, if you have a non-trolling question, that would be better. I'm just reducing trolling, and if somebody wants to troll, you have to pay the toll and subscribe to the channel, you know what I mean? I just think it works better. Sometimes when you're just sitting there listening, you find yourself like more open to the conversation than when you're coming into the chat just to troll. It's kind of counterproductive, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. What do you tell people that say that we need farmed animals for the manure in order to grow veggies? Well, this is just incorrect. I have it somewhere, I think. I might want to find it. But I have read a study that actually manure pollutes more than synthetic nitrogen and synthetic phosphorus. But also synthetic nitrogen and synthetic phosphorus pollute because farmers apply it kind of unintelligently. They apply too much. If you apply kind of an exact amount of the synthetic, what do you call it? Like nitrogen and phosphorus, it's not going to have a detriment to the environment. But like on the factual level, no, we don't need manure. We can produce green manure. We can produce compost. We can rotate the land that we grow crops on. And we can use synthetic nitrogen and phosphorus. So incredibly unproductive. It's one of those things that's like, it's just like the farmers produce so much of it that they're sometimes like literally trying to give it away. That's why I also don't buy organic food, not just because it's a scam and it's like costs twice as much without providing any health benefits, but also it's more likely to use animal manure. And I just I don't want that shit on my food, you know what I mean? I just don't want that shit on my food. We're also moving towards production in labs and in like greenhouses, closer and closer to that. So, it's going to be a thing of the past. Once we go like globally, we decide to spare the animals and go vegan or move closer to veganism, to a vegan world, those problems can be solved. They often are solved. It's not going to be an issue. It's really not. But thank you for the question. But another thing, if we really need manure, well, once we go vegan, our vegan manure, our vegan shit, can be used for farming if we really want to. We should probably like dry it first to kind of kill the bacteria and shit. I don't know, like age it or something. But we have like 8 billion people in the world. We have some manure here, right? We're approaching 9 billion, I think, at some point. Holy shit. People are having babies, and I guess people are having like incredible amount of babies. All right, guys, we're gonna... Oh no, there is nobody there. Oh, there's one person. Let's rejoin. If you have questions, tag me so that I can see the orange in my eye. And I'll mute myself there and I'll come answer the question, please don't hesitate. Listen, this is like an open channel to have a conversation. Nothing to commit to at this point. This is just like, sometimes your decision to not go vegan is just surrounded with a bunch of claims that are wrong. You know what I mean? So all we're doing now is seeing if our claims are correct or incorrect, or if they are relevant to veganism or irrelevant to veganism, right? Because if we can spare animals, shouldn't we? Wouldn't that be better? So if you want to ask a question, just tag me and I'll come back.
Dude, I'm gonna be traveling this year and it's gonna be so cool. So cool to travel. I've already been in Paris. Have you seen like my images?
Yeah, I saw some around.
Yeah.
I thought you were joking. But yeah, you were eating.
They're just having conversations and there's nobody in there.
Next month, Poland. Then the month after, America. Hopefully, I'm gonna be arriving in America before like really shit things are gonna like start to happen, which is fucking annoying.
Before there's civil war.
Good night, Chania.
It's a bit wild over in America.
It's more like I try not to think about too much about the whole politics thing, because I know it's important, but on the other side it can.
Yeah, there's nothing happening there. Let me just like lecture you for a while, guys. Let's just do that. How about that? So I have this site, right, where I collect things, rebuttals, basically, to anti-vegan claims, right? I'm not gonna lie, guys. Everybody who's listening, there's not much anti-vegan claims that have any merit behind them, right? Well, I should not be opening that. Let's go there. But like, just to make sure, guys, right? So this is the animal slaughter count per day. So that's just slaughter. The exploitation is much vaster than that. This is what's happening every single day globally. And this is kind of outdated, I think. I think the numbers are bigger now because there are more people and people are increasing their consumption of animals, despite some people going vegan, right? So this is why we are in this conversation. This is why we're doing this. This is why I'm going live, talking to people in Discord and here. It's for the animals, right? If we can spare those animals their lives, and that includes just bringing them into existence in the first place, I think they should. I think, put one in the chat if you disagree with me that not exploiting and slaughtering animal would be better than exploiting and slaughtering animals for the animals, right? Put one in the chat if you disagree with that, because that could lead to an interesting conversation, like why? What would be the argument for exploiting and slaughtering more animals rather exploiting and slaughtering less animals? You know, are we talking about the land transformation to greenery, especially where water is scarce? Yeah, we just had the conversation about that. I think maybe you were behind a little bit, I'm not sure. But yeah, plants are saving the world. Right now, Ethiopian farmers are ditching, this is what this link says, Ethiopian farmers are ditching raising animals for food, and they're raising plants instead. And at the Senegal border, they are trying to reduce deforestation. Animal husbandry or animal farming goes against that, because the amount of greenery that animals need to eat in order to then give us 10% of calories, it's astonishing, right? It's unneeded. So they can just grow plants and eat those plants instead. And that's what Senegal is doing right now, right? They're trying to stop desertification by using this system. What they're doing here, it's actually very interesting. Let's read it a little bit. What they're doing here is, so they're digging kind of a ditch. So desert desert ground, it doesn't absorb water because it's like really dry. The top of it is really dry. So they digging in the ground. They're creating this like space where water can collect when there is rainfall, because in the desert there is rainfall, a lot of it. So they're creating those like little pockets where the water can collect, and they're putting plants in there, edible plants in this case. And this is what feeds Senegal right now. And it's kind of blowing my mind, and it's kind of amazing. So Africa is ditching exploiting animals for food because it's just, not because they care about animals, unfortunately, but because it's so inefficient. You know what I mean? They would cease to exist. Yeah, CP3, maybe if you will, like maybe the species will kind of survive sometimes, but it's also like a human changed species. They're bred for a specific purpose. And I think extinction in this case is justified. I think breeding them into existence is against their best interest in the end, because when they're bred into existence, they're exploited, they're tortured, yes, even on small local farms, there is torture going on, and then they're slaughtered. That's a terrible existence. Like, put humans in that place, right? Let's say there are humans that are bred for like a specific purpose, to be killed in 10 years of life, right? For instance, because humans live a little longer than cows, than other animals. I think that would be unjustified to breed those humans just to kill them. It would be better if they didn't exist, in my opinion. Basic nutritional facts, what are those? As far as I know, there are no nutritional values that can't be replaced by plant foods or supplementation. I'm not spawned, but I'm actually thinking about asking them to spawn me, to sponsor me. Yeah, Navi has been vegan for 24 years. I've been vegan for 10. And I'm not young either, so I'm getting older, so and it's not a detriment to my health. In fact, there are some benefits to it, I guess. There's no way a vegan can survive 20, 30, 40 years. Well, Navi has just wronged you. We don't have to get sick. All we need to do is prevent deficiencies, and you can just take a multi-supplement for that. All other stuff can be gotten in plants. Even though most of the stuff that is in the multi-supplement can be gotten in plants. The only real thing that you can't get in plants, if all you want to do is like eat food, the only supplement that you have to take is B12, basically. It would be better for you to take vitamin D as well, but that's just everybody on Earth, basically. Our absorption of vitamin D3 is terrible from the sun and stuff like that, and sun is becoming more and more detrimental to us. One of the reasons for that is animal agriculture. Animal agriculture promotes greenhouse gas emissions that we can prevent, and therefore should. Listen, those claims, Miguel, those claims that vegans can't survive for 20, 30, 40 years, they're just incorrect. They're just like one of those things that somebody said once. It's really, truly incorrect. Vegan diets can be incredibly healthy. In fact, they reduce the risk of many diseases, Miguel. The diseases that most people die from: cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer. Vegan diets can reduce those. So it's a question of sustainability? No, it's a question of animals. Of not violating the rights of animals when we don't have to, not exploiting, not slaughtering animals when we don't have to, and we don't have to. And the fact that animals eat other animals, I think if we can prevent that, we should. I'm a minority, though, that thinks this way. I think there is absolutely no reason for us to accept what happens in nature if we can prevent that safely for everybody involved, right? But we shouldn't take our morality from animals, Lyle. We are slightly different from animals, let's just say it like that, because we are able to reason about morality. CP3 rights given to them by who? That haven't been given yet, but they should. Animals are sentient. Sentient means they are conscious. They have the ability to experience life, feel pain, feel joy, all of that stuff. That's the thing that we have in common with animals. And that's basically like when you reduce it to why we gave humans rights, why we shouldn't exploit humans, why we shouldn't kill humans. All of those traits that humans have, animals also have them. So we should give them rights, is the point. When I say rights violation, that's what I mean. It's the violation of the rights that should be given to them. Should all wolves and bears be killed? I don't think so. I think we should find another solution. Maybe like feeding them or something, but that's really beside the point, kind of. So veganism is like preventable rights violations, and for humans it's preventable. We don't have to do it to them. So it's an interesting conversation. I have it often about wolves and bears and lions and all that stuff, but it's really beside the point. Let's talk about our impact on animals first, and then we can have like an internal discussion about other animals have an impact on other animals. You know what I mean? Who else? MA. What about animals that are killed the proper way? Why not eat those? Well, I don't know what the proper way is. It's still a rights violation. It's still you taking a life when you don't have to. It's unnecessary. I don't know what the proper way would even be like. And whatever it is, would you extrapolate that on humans? Would you say, well, that's the proper way to kill humans as well when you don't have to? But MA, to your like higher question, perhaps, if you find like a corpse of an animal that died naturally and you want to eat it, I wouldn't mind. If that's the only way you do it, you just eat corpses that you find in the woods or something like that, I wouldn't mind. Personally, I would think it's weird. I think it would be dangerous for you. But animal act by instinct. They, of course, feel fear, all of that because it's instinct. They don't have a consciousness. No, animals are conscious. They, in this specific case, they are exactly like us, right? So, first of all, the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness. This is in 2000s, I think. Scientists wrote a declaration that animals are indeed conscious. So if you're saying otherwise, I'm going to answer that in a second, Emma. You stick around. I'm answering your previous question. But also, so here's the science behind consciousness, behind sentience specifically. So sentience is the ability to be conscious, right? It's like, it's the primary consciousness. So that demands that you have a brain and a nervous system, spinal cord, and all of those senses, right? So hearing, smell, speech, or not speech, but like oral, text, like textural, like textile feeling. All of those feelings are nerves that communicate with the brain and output consciousness. That's what's happening, right? So plants don't have that, for instance. They don't have a brain and a nervous system. Some animals don't have that, but most animals do. Most animals are conscious. Are you pro-life? No, I'm pro-sentience. So it's not just the life that I care about, because then, you know, like, if I did care about life's simplicity, it would be like immoral for me to brush my teeth or something like that. That's just ridiculous. They're not conscious. So I'm pro defending animals. Yes, the only beings that are capable of being conscious are animals. If we can prevent their exploitation and slaughter, we should. You should know what kind of supplement vegan bodybuilders have to take to bulk up. It's not only plants. Well, some of them hold on. Some of them do take supplements the way you explained, some of them don't. There are plenty of vegan bodybuilders who are natural. I mean, natural, they take creatine probably, they take like protein supplements and things like that. But no, vegans don't need to juice for that, right? Some of them do, but others no. For instance, this Olympic lifter, he broke a record, US record. He's vegan, Kendrick Ferris. He can't juice, he literally can't, right? Because they're tested for it throughout the year. So he haven't juiced. Sophia Ellis also, she's a power lifter. They can't juice powerlifters, literally. They have to be natural. She's broke a record. Those are vegans. This guy, he's Mr. Olympian. He's obviously juicing. All Mr. Olympians are juicing, right? So comparing one to another, all Mr. Olympians are juicing. And this is a vegan Mr. Olympian who juices, but he's also on a vegan diet, and he won Mr. Olympia, Brazilian Mr. Olympia. All of those vegan or plant-based record holders, gold medalists, all of them have to be straight. They can't take the supplements that you are alluding to, MA. And these guys are all natural. Nimai Delgado, he's been vegan for many, many years, and he was born vegetarian, so he never ate meat. This is my friend Chip. He's definitely natural. Give me a sec, let me get to him. And his body is like pretty fucking fantastic. Look at that. What a pump. Holy shit. There you go. He's natural. He doesn't take the crazy supplements that you're talking about, right? Yeah, I know what you meant. Abortion is kind of, again, beside the point because we're talking about specifically animal rights. But I can answer your question. So I think once the fetus is, before the fetus is sentient, I don't care. That's just life. It's not sentient life, right? It's just, it is just like cells. With after the fetus becomes sentient, which is around 19 to 23 weeks, it becomes morally questionable whether or not abortion is allowed. But I think because there is an actual sentient person who has to carry that sentient life and take great amount of chance of risk carrying that life, if not only risk but like mental and physical changes that are pretty substantial. In some cases, I would say it's permissible to still abort that life. We kill sentient life sometimes when it's justifiable, and I think in some cases it is justifiable to kill even a sentient fetus, but most abortions happen way before the fetus is a sentient, so who cares? I don't care, that's for sure. Grass cries when you cut. Well, no, grass is not sentient. It can't cry. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have a voice to like emit any sound. It doesn't have a mouth. It doesn't have a brain and a nervous system either. It's just something that people say to make themselves feel better. CP3, unfortunately, right? I was kind of thinking, oh, it would be cool if plants could be sentient, but they literally can't. Plants just can't be sentient. And I can give you this paper to read. It's from a neurobiologist of consciousness, John Mallat. A fantastic paper. He also has a book that is written a little less densely than this paper. But yeah, he's a neuroscientist of consciousness, so he knows what he's talking about, and he's debunked plant sentience. Plants are not sentient. What else is there? So why can't you eat eggs then, for example? Well, because sentient animals are exploited and killed for it. So hens, when they are bred, right, like at first there is a hatchery and like there are a bunch of eggs and baby chicks are born. 50% of them are gonna be male, and males can't produce eggs, right? They can't hatch, like they can't lay eggs. So they're killed on the first day of life. That's the step one of egg production. And the other hens are gonna live in factory farms or in farms simpliciter, producing eggs. That's exploitation. That's wrong by its face. Like if you put a human being in that position, for instance, you'll understand that, like, just keeping humans, for instance, somewhere just so that you can exploit them, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. That's immoral. And then when they don't produce enough eggs, farmers just kill them, just put them to slaughter. That's why we don't eat eggs. Optimal. Compare results of what? CP3. CP3, would you like to come up and like have a voice debate with me? You can just have a voice debate with me if you want. And please don't say shit like I'll break you like a Kit Kat. You don't know what size Neil is. You don't know this. Neil could be this size. He could be this size. Because vegans can be this size. You know what I mean? So you don't know that. Eleanor Blake. Who gets to decide whether something is sentient or not? Well, scientists, neuroscientists specifically. It is important to acknowledge the power structures and biases such as anthropocentrism. Anthropocentrism doesn't enter neuroscience. I wish it kind of did a little bit, but it doesn't. That field is incredibly cold. They literally just test, like, they dissect animals to know if those animals are able of being sentient or not. So, yeah, neuroscientists, or specifically neuroscientists of consciousness, decide who is sentient and who is sentient and who isn't. And a bunch of scientists signed this Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, saying that a lot of the animals whom we farm are conscious. And if they're conscious, it becomes like a moral question whether it's okay or not to exploit and kill them. You know what I mean? Chickens that lay eggs in very nice environments without forcing them. Well, it's not a matter of force, it's a matter of exploitation, right? They're gonna produce eggs because they are selectively bred to produce a lot of eggs, right? So chickens usually, like in the wild, the pheasant or whatever, they usually produce like 1 egg a month, maybe. And it's like really dependent of whether or not it's time to time to reproduce kind of situation. But in those farms, they lay eggs. It's just like part of how we bred them, genetically bred them. They lay almost every day. And you kind of ignoring the fact that the male chicks are killed, those animals are killed in the end. Please don't ignore all of the information. Look at all of it. That would be like the more honest thing to do. Look at all the information together. Brad did MMA for 9 years. Well, congratulations. That doesn't matter. Would you like to have a voice discussion with me? I guess CP3, that's, I've asked that before. Mike Levin has an interesting research on similarities in goal-directed behavior in systems of neurons and blastomas. If his research is in plant sentience, that was debunked by this paper, 100%. Eleanor, I think everybody should read this paper. It's amazing. It's really good. It's really dense. If you're like not really scientifically inclined, like I'm not, I propose putting sections of it in ChatGPT for ChatGPT to explain. He's incredibly thorough. He debunks, I think, 12 claims about plant sentience he debunks. It could be that a much wider variety of organic systems are capable of intelligence. The goal, intelligence, yes, that doesn't mean sentience. So like my phone is intelligent, right? For instance, if I talk to it, it produces something, right? It lets me know when it's hungry, right? So I have to like plug it in and stuff like that. It's incredibly intelligent. It's more intelligent than anybody else because it has like it has World Wide Web on it, right? That doesn't mean it's sentient. So intelligence is kind of separate from sentience. An organism, a plant, can be intelligent, and by that we mean that it has like certain like detections and shit like that. It doesn't mean that it's sentient. Those are separate claims, Eleanor. Why do you believe what neuroscience says, but not what biology says about life beginning at conception? Well, life begins at conception. That's not. I'm not disputing that, am I? Sentience doesn't begin at conception. Sentience begins in humans 19 to 23 weeks, which is, by the way, something that this scientist. I wrote him an email. This scientist told me. And he's a neuroscientist of consciousness. He says sentience begins at 19 to 23 weeks of life, and I trust that. Valuing life simplicity kind of makes no sense. The thing that makes us morally relevant is our ability to experience life, and that's consciousness, that's sentience. Hey, what's up, John Cow Tag? How you doing? What about be your ultimate goal? What would be your ultimate goal? People have been eating meat and animal food since the beginning of times. Maybe, not really beginning of times. At some point of our evolutionary direction, definitely. But I think that doesn't matter in the 21st century. We removed ourselves from nature. We removed ourselves from evolutionary pressures, right? That's why we live longer, have generally like old age related diseases and stuff like that. So our goals is different now. Our goals is to live as long as possible, and eating more plant food is like puts us closer to that goal. It reduces our risk of diseases, and it increases our longevity. That's according to all nutrition research or all health research that examines the impact of nutrition on our health, on health outcomes in humans. But also like, what did you say, what would be my ultimate goal? Yeah, for everybody to go vegan, because I think everybody can agree that if you have two possible worlds, in one of them we exploit and kill animals, and in the other one we don't exploit and kill animals, but otherwise we live happy, long lives in both of them. I think the world where we don't exploit and kill animals is better. I think, put one in the chat if you agree with me, that all else equal, humans live long, happy lives in both worlds. World B, where we don't exploit and kill animals, would be better than world A, where we do exploit and kill animals. Put one in the chat if you agree with me. Let's see what else. That paper is only one person's opinion. No. First of all, those are 5 scientists there. And second of all, he's a world-leading neuroscientist of consciousness specifically. And he also quotes a lot of research, not only his own research, but other scientists' research. I don't think there is a neuroscientist that thinks that plants are sentient. Unfortunately, Robin. I would have liked it to be possible, but it seems not possible on a cellular level. Plants just don't have cells that are quick enough in transmitting information one from one to another. And you kind of need that to have consciousness. You need, like, if you put your hand in a fire as a human being, right? The reaction of that is immediate. So your fingers, your nervous system sends a signal to your brain interprets it and sends it back, danger. You kind of put your hand really, really fast out of fire. Plants lack that. They can't do it. So is hunting wrong? Yes. Hunting is still exploit and kill animals for unnecessary reasons. You can just eat plants. You don't need to kill animals for anything, frankly. But yes, it would still be exploitation. So you're still viewing them as objects, kind of. You're not viewing them as sentient beings. Because you're saying, oh, this thing that is running around, jumping around, I can just take its life and eat it. That's a category error. We should look at animals as their own independent individuals. It seems like centering neurosciences in the determination of sentience might be overly restrictive. Why? They are the specialists. They specialize in this. Listening to other biologists would be an error when you have specialists specializing in this matter of biology. Or can be even to get at the hard problem of consciousness from neuroscience at least yet. No, we can. We absolutely can. This paper is really, seriously, Eleanor, I really would appreciate if you read this paper. It's really good. It gets everything. It gets every claim. It talks about it at length, right? So this talks about, on the cellular level, debunks the ability of plants being conscious. This is their specialty, right? This is what these people do. And the conversation with him in an email was absolutely fascinating. Really, really interesting. I learned something. I learned, for instance, that animals in the past, we used to, because we are part of animals, right? Animal kingdom, like evolutionarily at least. So the first sentient animals were only partially sentient. It's kind of weird. They would turn on their sentience when looking for food or in case of danger. And the rest of the time, they would just like kind of coast on other instincts. So it was really, really interesting that sentience wasn't just like this spark that got turned on. It actually like evolved gradually, really fast, he says, in a matter of about 500,000 years, which is really fast, evolutionary direction. But it was really fascinating. I didn't know that. That was really interesting to learn about sentience. Blah, blah, blah. Let me just switch. What about people doing carnivore diets? The violating rights for absolutely no need. You can, whatever you're doing on a carnivore diet, you can do on a plant-based diet. It's really an unnecessary cruelty. Like gaining muscle actually requires or is better done with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates facilitate gain of muscles. So what's up here? Sorry, I'm a bit behind, I apologize. Let me see. I don't know much about it, but I've heard that it introduces a lot of intra and exter-organism communication that couldn't otherwise occur. Well, plants can communicate if their roots are connected to whatever the fuck, but the communication is not a prerequisite of sentience, of consciousness, Elena. Again, my phone can communicate with my computer. That doesn't mean my phone is sentient. In fact, it's more likely for my phone or the AI that it can store to become sentient one day, maybe, right, than plants. Plants just like on the cellular level, they just cannot be sentient, unfortunately. It would be really fun if they could, right? It would be really interesting. Oh, CP3, did you make a mistake and wrote in a different chat? Well, my invitation to have a conversation with me still exists, CP3, if you want to stick around. But I appreciate all the questions that you were talking. I didn't appreciate the threats that much. So I seen it during COVID, lie after lie. Well, no, there were very little lies during COVID. So that's just like a bit of a conspiracy there. But, time will tell, Robin, time will tell. And actually, Robin, I would ask AI a lot of questions about it if you want. It has the advantage of knowing everything online, right? And it will it will give you the truth, like straight up, right? Eleanor, I would take neuroscientists in conjunction with mathematicians. I don't know why would mathematicians have anything to say about consciousness or sentience. It's extremely not that field. It's like not even close to being that field. For example, if you discover a biological process with isomorphic to neural activity in a brain, I don't know how mathematicians would help with that, frankly. But listen, Eleanor, just read the paper. Really, really, I think it's really good. I think it debunks all the ability of plants to be conscious. And this comes from people, seriously. I talked to this guy in email. He's not close-minded. He's incredibly open-minded to anything being sentient. He just says it's just like an impossibility. It's a biological impossibility for plants to be sentient. It's just a matter of, as you said, structural complexity. Plants just don't have the structural complexity required to even one day produce consciousness, not even in billions of years of evolution, it seems, unless they evolve into animals again somehow. Animals are the only creatures on Earth that can be sentient. That includes us, obviously. Thank you. Please like the stream if you can. If you have questions, guys, people who are watching without writing, if you have questions, you're welcome. I guess I'm doing a Q&A today because the VAB is kind of empty. Because of limited knowledge of plant life. Well, no, we have a lot of knowledge of plant life, plant structure. It can't be sentient. It doesn't have eyes, ears, neurons, brain, nervous system. Or even what's its name? Well, no brain. That's what that shows. They just don't have the things. It's also one of the claims is that it can't have like a preemptive decision. Plants can't do that. We know a lot about it. They're like claiming ignorance on plant sentience these days is just like misguided a little bit. If humans did not eat meat, would be still grazing in the savannah? Maybe, but we're not in that. So here's the thing, Robin, right? I'm not advocating for our ancestors to become vegan. I'm advocating for my peers to become vegan because our survival is no longer predicated on animal exploitation and slaughter. In fact, animal exploitation and slaughter impedes our ability to survive. And I can explain it to you if you would like, Robin. Let me know if you would like me to explain why animal agriculture actually is kind of incredibly detrimental to us as human beings. And if we abandon it, we'll be so much better for it. If you want to look at it from a selfish position, but I think we should do it for animals anyways. I think we should consider animals as the sentient creatures that they definitely are. Most animals, not all animals, but the animals that we usually exploit and slaughter, we should consider them and stop doing so. Animals cannot think they know a predator if they're in the escape. I don't know what you mean by that. Of course, animals can think. Animals are conscious, and a lot of animals are also self-conscious. Pigs, for instance, are self-conscious on top of being just conscious. So, yeah, that's just factually incorrect. Animals can think, and they do think, and you can see that when they make decisions. They don't just do it by instinct. They do it through a thought process. And I can prove it to you if you want, Robin. To your knowledge, they do not have the complexity, does not make it a fact. Well, I don't think animals should be complex, incredibly complex, for us to grant them basic rights of not being exploited and slaughtered when we don't have to, right? We have humans who are not incredibly complex, like mentally challenged humans. Robin, would you say it's okay to exploit and slaughter those not complex humans I think he wouldn't say that. I think he would say no, we would still need to protect them because they're conscious beings with their wants and dreams and rights and shit like that. Look at all the plant life and on Earth. Well, the life simplicity, it doesn't really matter. And look how many people are starving. Well, people are starving, Robin, partly because of animal agriculture. And again, I can prove it to you. Robin, would you like to come up and I can explain all of those things using our voices? It would be much easier. We would like miss each other much less, right? Because I've been behind a little bit. Would you like, Robin, would you like to come up and talk to me like a voice debate? Not a debate, just a conversation. You know what I mean? Hello, Arian. They don't know good and evil. That's not correct either, but that I don't think, why does that mean that it's okay to exploit and kill them if they didn't? Like babies don't know good from evil. Would that be okay to exploit and kill babies? They are conscious though, MA, they are conscious. I've talked about it like a bunch just now. I hope you were listening. I think the very simple answer is taste pleasure. Sometimes, yeah, most of the time it gets there. You're right. But I think to get there is really important to like debunk a bunch of things that people are saying. But humans and animals are not the same. What would be the morally relevant difference between a baby who doesn't know good from evil and an animal who also doesn't know good from evil? What would be the morally relevant difference that makes it not okay to kill humans but okay to kill animals? MA, you are also welcome to come and have a conversation with me via voice. That would be easier for both of us. But if you want to write as well, please provide the trait difference between a human and an animal that makes it okay to kill an animal who doesn't know good from evil, but not okay to kill a human who doesn't know good from evil. That's why we have capital punishment. That's not why we have capital punishment. We have capital punishment because sometimes we are just like vengeful Sallys. We just want revenge sometimes. Moral irrelevancy that humans are made in the image of God. Why does that matter? Like, if you find out tomorrow that me, as an atheist, wasn't made in an image of God, or technically not a human, would you say it's okay to kill me? Why does that matter? God created, depends on God. I think you mean a Christian God. Well, your God created animals to procreate and multiply. He didn't create them for humans. He didn't say you can kill animals in Genesis when he created them. It's only later when the man has fallen did he say, well, I give up, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But also, why would it be okay to kill creatures who are not made in the image of God, but are still God's creatures, when you literally don't have to? Emma, would you say, if Jesus came down tomorrow, I'm assuming that you're a Christian, I apologize. If Jesus came down tomorrow, or any religious figure came down tomorrow and saw that you can avoid exploitation and killing of animals, but you decide not to, do you think he would say, oh yeah, good job, Emma, good job choosing to exploit and kill animals when you don't have to? I think not. I think he would say you have the choice not to do it. Why is capital punishment bad? Well, because it's I don't know, maybe it's bad, maybe it's not bad. It just comes from an unjustified place, in my opinion, right? It's basically like revenge. I don't think revenge is a good thought process, in my opinion. But it's beside the point of a conversation today, guys. Really, really beside the point. Capital punishment is good. Well, too many innocent people have died because of capital punishment, so I don't think it's good for that reason. Only for that reason, if only for that reason, I think it's bad. But also, I think everybody should have the chance to be rehabilitated, even the biggest psychopaths. Are you farmer, Robin? That sucks, man. I'm so sorry for you animals. I split my sheep into 2 herds. I took care of one and let the other one survive on their own. Why would you do that? You brought these animals into existence, not plucked them out of nature. They have like 0 ability to survive on their own. You basically killed them, man. Of course. Those are animals that you bred into existence, into an environment that is outside of nature. It's like, not outside of nature, but like away from nature. They have 0 skills to survive in nature. Of course you kill them. You kill them by letting them go. Of course. It's like me like having a baby and then throwing that baby into a jungle. It literally can't take care of itself. It doesn't have the skills. Obviously, it's, by the way, it's proving your point wrong. Was it yours or May's, Robin? They don't just follow instincts. They are creatures. They are like sentient, conscious creatures. They need to learn from their parents how to survive in their environment. So they don't just act on instincts. So thank you for proving that, Robin. Jungle babies, yeah, Navia. Today's fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying these conversations. There were many more people before, but those of you who are watching, I know I'm asking you to subscribe. It's just to avoid a lot of trolling. But if you have questions or like claims relating to veganism, you're welcome to write. If you want to have like a voice conversation, that's also can be facilitated, guys. Although I'm losing my voice for some reason. Kind of weird. Well, MA, you haven't given us the difference, the trait difference, that makes it okay to slaughter animals but not humans. I don't think in the image of God does that. Why do you think it's okay to kill God creatures who are not made in the image of God? He literally, like Genesis 1, mate. Genesis 1. Let me find it 1 second. Where is it? Culture and religion, Christianity. Genesis 1, mate. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. In Genesis 1, when he created humans and animals, he told all of them to eat plants and not each other. So, like, why must we disappoint God? Why must you disappoint God? This is the God you believe in and admire. Why must you disappoint him? He created you a vegan. And he told you to take care of those animals. Dominion means taking care of them. Right? No, it says, MA, that's factually incorrect. Look at this. Genesis 1 is the beginning, right? He says, eat the seeds and the trees and the fruit and shit. He says the same to animals. To you it shall be for meat, it just means to you it shall be food in King James time, right? He commanded humans to be vegan. And then we fucked it up. Why must you continue disappointing your God? I did not breed themselves. Bullshit, Robin, bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. Come on, man. Come on. You keep the buck away from the hues until it's time to breed them. That means you facilitated breeding, you planned it. And if it wasn't for you, those animals wouldn't exist. Those are domesticated animals. Those animals, without you, wouldn't exist. Why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to yourself, huh? Why is that? Yeah, on the ark. Good question, MA. So, here's Genesis 9, right? Noah get off the ark and God tell them, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, right? This is what you're talking about. So this is after he banished Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, right? And after he killed everybody on earth except for Noah. And what did Noah do? He gets off the boat without asking what to do. He builds an altar. He kills a bunch of animals and burns them on the altar. And what does God say? I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. He's basically saying this after Noah's action. And he says, this is the guy, the most ethical guy that I saved from death, from my destruction. And he gets off the boat and he takes the animals that he saved and just fucking kills them right there. So he says the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. And what does he say before he tells them that you can eat the animals? He says, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth. Does that sound like God thinks that you're good? To me, that sounds that God thinks that you're evil. And that's why he kind of gives up on you and says, oh, fuck it, you can do whatever you want. You want to kill animals so much, fine. But his best interest for you and the animals was for all of you to be vegan. That's how he created you. What do you think is more important, the creation or the permission, the discussion of how a man is evil and the permission to do whatever they want after the fall? Following that logic, the plant-based diet in Garden of Eden was abolished after they sinned. Yeah. So why must you disappoint your God again and again and again? Why wouldn't you stop disappointing your God? And you never answered my question, Amay. If Jesus came down to earth in 2025 and saw that you have the choice to not exploit and slaughter literal trillions of animals, billions of animals per day, millions of animals, billions of animals per day, or you had the chance not to do this, do you think he would say good choice for exploiting and slaughtering my creatures? You don't think that? Well, that's what it's written. You cannot think that, but it follows one after the other. So Noah burns the offering on the altar, and then God says, I will not curse the ground again, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. He's basically admitting man is so evil, I can't curse them again, because that's what become of my creation. Right? He's basically resigning to accepting the evil of man. Like, if I was God, I would be so fucking disappointed. I gave you everything you needed right there in the Garden of Eden. And you fucked it up. And you continue fucking it up. Billions of animals slaughtered every single day. All of those are God's creatures. And you have the choice not to do this. And you choose to do this. It's fucked up, mate. It's fucked up. I have read all Genesis. I have read it, all of it, with Tone. Tone is here. We've read all of it. We skipped the genealogy, I think. All the begetting, I think we skipped that shit. But we read all Genesis. We read a few more places in the Bible. Do you know it takes about 3 acres to feed a person a year? Yeah. Do you know it takes about 3 acres to feed 1 cow per year? And the cow can't produce all the calories you need even? By the way, I don't think it takes 3 years. 3 acres. 3 acres is nothing. It's very little. Takes 3 acres to feed 1 cow. So I don't think that makes sense. If it takes 3 acres to feed 1 cow, humans are much smaller. We eat 10 times less. So I'm not sure where that's coming from, Robin. But again, trophic levels, mate. Trophic levels. Where did I put that shit? The environment, I think. Trophic levels. If you would become the primary consumer, eat plants directly, it would be better than being a secondary consumer. It would be less calorie loss, much less. We could feed people in Africa. Children in Africa wouldn't need to be starving to death. And I can prove this to you, Robin. Look at this, diets compared. If we all went vegan, I'm gonna make it a little bigger so that you can see my guy. There you go. If we all went vegan, this is global land use for agriculture across different diets, we would reduce agricultural land by 75%. 3/4 of land can be spared, can be rewilded or used for other like human infrastructure. You know? All we need to feed the entire human population is 1 billion hectares. But now cows are eating to their fullest so that the rich people in Western countries could eat cows, but babies in Africa are fucking starving to death. So detrimental to us is raising animals for food. Incredibly detrimental to the entire human population. I'm starting to lose my voice though. Comedy countdown. I don't get why you would be a vegan. Can you help me out to understand a little better on why you're vegan? Of course. So, comedy countdown. I hope you're listening. So, give me a second. Ethics, I think. Thickens in ethics. No, I put it in arguments against. Give me a second. Sorry, comedy countdown. Indigenous people, vegan animals. Oh, there you go. It's first thing. Fuck. Couldn't see it. No, that's not it. Where did I put it? It's kind of weird. Why did it get fucked up so? Sorry for swearing, by the way, if people are minding this. Arguments against. Oh, there you go. So, comedy countdown, right? So, animals and humans have something in common. And what we have in common is consciousness. Consciousness is the thing that makes us individuals, makes us being aware of the life around them, having all those emotions and feelings, having somewhat rational thought as well. Animals do have some rational thought, non-zero amount. And our ability to experience life and value that life. This is the thing that we have in common with animals. And in fact, if you really, really reduce why we give humans the basic rights, right? The human rights, why we give them the right to live, the right to not be exploited, all of that stuff. All of those traits that humans have that makes it not okay to exploit and slaughter them, animals also have them. And so if you can not exploit and slaughter animals, then I think it's a moral obligation to do so, because that's how we apply it to humans as well. If you can live without exploiting and slaughtering animals, then you should. It's your moral obligation to do so. Unless you don't believe in human rights. And then, frankly, the conversation is kind of over. cut down the forest to feed the people. No, the opposite, sweetie. Robin, the opposite. I just showed it to you. I don't know why we keep coming back to this, right? It's the opposite. If we all went vegan, we would reduce the amount of land we need to feed populations, to feed all the people. By 75%, we can rewild, reforest those spaces. So it's actually, Robin, if you care about that, you should go plant-based at least. Yeah, but it reduces the amount. We already grow so many crops to feed the animals, right? 538 million hectares are used just for animal feed. Poof, gone. Just the cropland, I know it's kind of small for you guys, but just the cropland in a vegan world is reduced by 2 million hectares, and the rest of all the pasture land is also freed. So you could actually, Robin, if you care about reforestation, you should go at least plant-based. At least. So it's the opposite. Sometimes it's very interesting, it's very fun. Sometimes people come in and make an argument that is actually an argument for plant-based dieting, at least, if not an argument for veganism. And Robin, this is what you are doing right now. It's important to address this, right? If you actually care about forests for humans, right? It's like selfish reasons. Because humans need more forests, because we need more air, less greenhouse gases and all that shit, then you should be plant-based. And you should be here every single day trying to convince other people to go plant-based as well, for humans. While I'm doing this for animals, and it's the side effect of it, that humans will also benefit it incredibly greatly. So anybody who's watching right now, I know I'm asking you to subscribe, to enter the chat, but if you have questions, you might want to pay the toll, or if you have like rebuttals of veganism or anything like that, you might want to enter the chat and subscribe for that, right? All I'm doing is like just reducing the amount of trolling by asking you to subscribe first, right? It's the toll you have to pay in order to have a conversation. And also if you have want to have a voice conversation with me, that is a possibility that can be arranged. There is creatine in my bottle. Genesis 22, God himself gave Abraham a lamb to sacrifice. Yeah, after the fall, sweetie. Everything you're talking about is after the fall, but God's best plan was for you to be vegan. That's how he created you. He created you and the animals vegan. Yeah, I don't correct Lewis. Veganism doesn't entail consuming soy milk. I drink no plant milks right now. Who else? Yeah, guys, if you have a question, it's worth to subscribe, I promise. You can all subscribe later if you want. Or maybe we can go, I think there is actual conversation in the VC. If nobody's, hey, what's up, David? What's up, the 40-year-old vegan? There is, I think, an actual conversation. So maybe I'll go there. Yeah, that was before. That was God's best plan. Again, listen to me, MA. I'm saying something incredibly simple. If that's how God created you, and by the way, in Genesis 1, he keeps saying, and it was good. He liked his creation. Why would you say it would be better to come back to how he created us, to how he wanted us to live? With animals, taking care of animals, not exploiting and slaughtering billions of animals per day for unnecessary stuff? Yeah, after the fall, mate. After the fall. All of that, after we've disappointed God. I know what's in the Bible, sweetie. I know. I know what's in the Bible. I'm just saying his perfect plan for us to be vegan. And everything after that just seems to be disappointment. That's how I read the Bible. Everything looks like God is like incredibly disappointed at every fucking curve of humanity. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, for Sodom and Gomorrah, what the fuck are you doing there, people? He looks at Noah and he's like, you evil prick, why did you kill those animals? It was not his plan anymore. Well, that's how he built you. Would you say, like, how he created you and thought it was good is better than everything that happened after you disappointed him? It doesn't matter. I'm not here to like convince you to like that it's like biblical to be vegan. I don't like. I care a little bit because people use God to justify all kinds of horrific stuff, and I think maybe that's why, if God exists, maybe that's why he never comes down anymore. He used to come down and have actual conversations with humans. He doesn't do that shit anymore. Maybe he's just like abandoned all of you evil pricks, killing his creatures left and right for unnecessary stuff. Holy shit, man. Well, then why doesn't he come down anymore, MA? He used to walk around people, talking to them. And now he doesn't do that anymore. I don't believe in all of that. Anyways. That's your creation myth. That's your Bible. That's your book. That's what it says. Like at every turn, you just disappoint him. He killed humans like twice. He's still talking. You're still talking, you're saying. No, that's just your inner voice, sweetie. If he was talking, he would be on television. I think he abandoned us, if he exists. Show me proof that they ever came down. No, I don't believe that's happening, but in the Bible, yeah. Yeah, he came down. He had the conversations with Abraham and shit. He was like flesh and blood. When was it? Oh, I think it's not Job. Yeah, I think Job. I don't remember though. It doesn't matter. Justice League. Yeah, the person left. Anyways, so now VC is empty again. Guys, let's abandon the God thing. I don't really care. How much meth do we smoke on a day? I don't know about you, but I smoke 0 per day. I'm an axe addict, and I don't touch anything that is like stronger than coffee and creatine. My meth is creatine these days. This is the floaty stuff in my water, the creatine. Creatine is fantastic, by the way, guys. If you have the ability, it's pretty cheap as well. If you have the ability to buy some creatine monohydrate, do it. It's really good. It's does fantastic stuff to the body. Oh, don't put them in shakes. No. That's why I put them in water. Don't do it. Don't do it on. I see there is like a Christian conversation. Sorry. My bad. If you have questions, guys, if you have questions or suggestions, please put them in the chat. Please put them in the chat. Oh, thank you for joining, Kyle. I'm not inherently against veganism, but it's not no animal death food option. Yeah, for sure. Have you ever looked at how many animals die to protect the crops? It's a lot. Yes, but it's considerably less than eating animals. So if you look, Kyle, if you look at the environment, right? Oh, I had it somewhere as well. I had it somewhere. I'll find it in a second. There is also like a literal count of how many animals die for certain foods. But you can just look at the land thing, right? So the crop and pasture, they kill animals. Not just the crop for human food, for animals as well. So animals eat plants, and those plants are harvested, and the silage, the forage is harvested as well, right? So all of those entail animal deaths. And animals eat much more food than humans do. So just basically the reduction of land to 1 billion hectares by 75%, that would reduce animal deaths considerably. It's simple trophic levels, frankly, right? To feed animals crops first, and then to eat those animals, you basically just like wasting 9,000 calories, and all the animals that died for those calories are wasted as well. Especially in case of chickens. I can't find it right now, but I definitely had it somewhere. Maybe I have it. Maybe I deleted it. But I definitely had the count of how many animals die for every food somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Oh man, I have so many things that I want to put into this site that I haven't gotten to it yet. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. One second, sorry, Kyle. It's taken me a minute. Oh, whoa. Oh, I should put that in there. It's kind of boring, sorry. But yeah, basically it's what I said. So animals eat crops. They also eat forage, right? Animals eat plants, basically. And animals die for all those plants as well. And trophic levels show us that we should eat plants directly. That would cause the least amount of animal deaths. It just would, guys. That's just how it works. Tone, do you have that thing, how many animals die count? If you have that, can you put it in the chat? Where did I have it? If Chase was here, he would have put it in there as well. Sorry guys, the Christian conversation is just boring to me at this point. Like, so you have it, the conversation in the chat if you want. Creatine, yeah, creatine for the win, guys, for the win. Is the vegan meat? Sorry, I never looked into it. Well, we have meat alternatives, right? So what we have is tofu, and I'm gonna put them in the chat. So we have tofu, seitan, not Satan, but seitan. We have textured vegetable protein. And those are like the least processed stuff, but we also have like a Beyond Burger, Beyond Meats, Impossible Meats, Redefine Meats. What else is there? Oh, the Juicy Marbles. And there are like a bunch of like veggie burgers as well that are like fantastic, but also like beans, lentils, legumes, stuff like that. They're all like sources of protein and like meat replacements nutritionally, and some of them flavor-wise. You definitely need to learn how to cook a bunch of those stuff like tofu and seitan. And textured vegetable protein is a fantastic source of protein, guys. It has like 50% of its not caloric content. Caloric content only 20%, but like gram protein is like in every 100 grams there are like 52 grams of protein, which is fantastic. And you basically like rehydrate it with some kind of like flavoring, some marinade or whatever. It tastes really good. Tofu tastes really good as well if you know how to cook it properly. Yeah, not a problem. Ginner, if you ever like have problems like that, let me know. But meat alternatives don't come close to the benefits real meat gives you. Like what benefits? Like what? It's natural and part of nature. We're not part of nature, so I don't know why you would decide something as part of nature. Animal agriculture is not part of nature either. It's not very natural looking, is it? Animal agriculture, like... That doesn't look like nature, mate, right? That's a farm. That doesn't look like nature. Like it or not, a part of nature cycle. We're not in a nature cycle. We are in a farm cycle. We create food. We don't take it from nature. We humans, we are nature. No, definitionally, the definition of nature is everything that is not human-made. That includes humans. We are outside of nature. Like right now, you are using an internet and a keyboard to write. You're not in nature right now. That's an appeal to nature fallacy anyways. Even if we were in nature, it doesn't mean that everything that is natural is good. A lot of artificial stuff are better for us, as evidenced by the fact that you are communicating with me now, certainly from another country, right? We probably live on two different sides of the world, and yet we communicate through artificial means. And it's much better than shouting at each other through the other side of the globe, right? So nature is not necessarily better for us. And in fact, right, like we have quite good nutritional evidence that eating more plants produces more longevity for us. So I think we should choose plant matter and even artificial matter over exploiting and slaughtering animals. It's just, unless you can point out to what nutrient we need from animal flesh or animal secretions that we can't get from plants and supplements, then maybe I'll agree with you, I don't know. At one point we were found in nature, well, we're not anymore. I don't know about you, but I'm sitting in a fucking house, looking at the camera, at two screens, playing with this plastic thingy, slavering this like soy balm on my lips. I'm not in nature, man. And you are not as well, because you're writing to me via text on your keyboard. Guys, this one thing is really, really, really important to understand. An appeal to nature is a fallacy. It's a logical fallacy. Not only are we not in nature, so it's like an appeal to a different reality, right? Not the reality that we are found in. We are not in nature. Like, if I had AC here, I would even control the climate. All I have is a fan right there. I'm controlling the climate in my man-made room. This is not nature. I'm talking into a microphone, into a camera. I'm looking in two of my screens. I'm streaming one of my screens. Nature is not with us. It's not with us in the room. And Jeff, if you continue spamming, I'm just gonna kick you out. Just don't spam anymore. You don't need to, man. Oh, there you go. Tone removed you. Removed the spamming. Guys, it's a literal fallacy. It's a literal like denial of reality. We are not in nature. Anything that is in nature doesn't apply to us anymore. We control our reality. We are in complete control of our reality, in fact. Farming is not nature, neither plant nor animal farming. Even hunting is not nature, because you're using guns and shit, right? You're using man-made stuff. And nature, by definition, is everything that isn't touched by human beings, everything that isn't made by a human being, and excludes human beings at this point, have been for like 10,000 years. You know, We don't live in caves. We don't bang two rocks together to create fire. And even that wasn't natural. That was like our technology. That was new technology. But today, definitely, everybody is writing to me on their keyboards. Everybody is listening to me through their headphones or through their speakers and whatever. We're not in nature, guys. Using nature to justify exploitation and slaughter of animals in human-made farms is just bonkers. It's just like against reality. It doesn't comport with reality in any kind of way. It's just a fallacy. So please, let's let go of it. And the fallacy part, the actual appeal to nature fallacy part of it is that it kind of assumes that what is natural is better for us. And that's just not true. That's just, there are so many things that improved our lives significantly from what we would have been in nature. In the 21st century, our lives are so much better, so much longer, so much healthier than it would have been when we were like in fucking caves and banging rocks together. Like, if somebody banged rocks together and banged their finger, they're dead. Sepsis. Holy shit. Today you just put some iodine on that shit and you're done. You can survive sepsis in your fucking tooth. Modernity is fantastic. Why are we appealing to nature? I'm sorry. Oh. Do you use Coke? No, I don't use Coke. I do drink Pepsi Max once in a while. I bought like a 6-pack of Pepsi Max for my birthday. I don't usually like buying that stuff because of the waste of like buying something that is in a can. But I'm going to recycle the cans, and it's like a rare occurrence anyways. So that was my present to myself, a good sandwich and a 6-pack of Pepsi Max. I'm out of water, I'm out of everything. And I'm kind of losing my voice right now. Fred Burns, why am I clueless about veganism? Well, you can ask questions, Fred Burns. You can ask questions. Do you know what veganism is, Fred Burns? Do you know what veganism is? Oh, you're vegan. Okay, cool. Well, welcome. Why are you vegan, if I may ask? Because some people confuse what veganism is. It's just like a point of entry. Sorry about that. It's like, what is it called? Like a little vegan paranoia. You don't want to dominate animals. Well, close enough. That's good. All right. So if anybody has questions, it seems that there might be a conversation in the VC. So let's join them.
I'm with you on that, man. I want to be in a vegan. To be honest, yeah, I want to be in a vegan.
Well, maybe you could be a little bit more serious about it then. It's wrong to needlessly exploit and abuse and kill other sentient beings.
I said to you, I'm with you on it.
Okay, so what's stopping you from being vegan then?
Because my family eat meat. I eat with them, you know.
So could you tell them that you don't want to eat meat anymore and you'd rather eat a plant-based diet?
They don't like it, man. They like meat.
Yeah. No, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not trying to tell you to get them to change. I'm trying to tell you to tell them that you don't want to eat animal products anymore.
Okay. I will try.
Ask your parents or whoever it is that's preparing your food if they can buy you only plant-based products. There's some really good plant-based products.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to pay for the abuse and killing and needlessly of animals.
Yeah. So thank you, man. I need to go.
Can I just give you something to have a look at?
Yeah.
If I can find it, just bear with me a second.
I'm here. So where are you from, man?
I'm just copying something. Can you see the side chat?
Side chat. Challenge.
I've just
Challenge.
copied in there challenge 22. And if you join that, it's a Facebook group. If you join that, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. They will give you a recipe or a menu every day of vegan food, and they will talk to you about veganism. And there's professional nutritionalists there who will talk you through any nutrition needs you need, and it's all free.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, you'll realize what it is to be a vegan.
Yeah. Thank you for that, man.
Give it a try.
Yeah, we'll give it a try.
Okay. Take care.
I've been joined to this group.
Good.
So where are you from, man?
I'm from the UK.
Nice to meet you. From Algeria. You know Algeria?
Algeria. Ah,
Yeah.
nice to meet you too.
I have an uncle working there in London.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So see you later, man.
Sorry.
Right.
See you later. Bye.
Very quiet again.
Yeah. I didn't see much point in wasting any time on that one.
I wasn't listening. I was paying attention to BPM's chat, so
All right. Yeah.
I take it didn't go so well.
He wasn't really open to it, but I think he might have a look at challenge 22. If he does, then he might take it on board a bit more.
Well, time will tell. That's up to him. You've done what you can.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. We're panicking, VPM. Panicking.
Oh no, don't panic. I'm here. Sorry, I was just talking to my chat because I saw there is nobody in here. So I was just... very nice, interesting things were brought up in the chat.
Oh, was I on there?
Yeah. I think so, right,
Oh.
Dave?
Scary.
Oh.
It was just the very tail end, the challenge 22 part.
Yeah.
How are
Oh.
you, VPM?
What's up?
Good.
I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. I've been talking for 2.5 hours, and I think the fan is kind of, and all the cold drinks or anything like that. But everybody, yeah. Oh, the people are asking more questions in the chat, so I'm gonna skedaddle there.
That's good.
All right. Kyle, I think. Oh, Fred Burns says. So if I go hunting in the forest, would that also be vegan for you? No, Fred, of course not. Kyle asks, what would you say about us evolving as omnivores and going against human nature? It's a little caught up that our bodies, I don't know what you mean by caught up here, that our bodies are designed to eat meat. Why go against it entirely? Well, it doesn't contradict. So we can be like evolutionarily designed. It's not really designed, so that's strong language there. It could be that we evolutionarily adapted to eating meat, and it still would be better for us to eat something else, right? Evolutionary adaptations are not necessarily made because it's the best thing for us. It's just the best thing that was around that made us reach reproduction age, right? And now that we are outside of nature, outside of evolution even, I would say outside of natural evolution at least, we should reconsider that and go with science. And science, scientific nutritional science shows us that the more plants you eat, the less disease risk you have, and the longer you live, basically, right? So it basically shows that evolutionary adaptations are kind of meaningless when it comes to our personal goals today, right? But even if it wasn't true, if we could be on a plant-based diet, even though it's like maybe like, let's just say it like that, even if it was the same, right? Because we're omnivores, so we can be on a plant-based diet. So even if those two diets were exactly the same for our health, or even slightly detrimental to health, I would still find it our moral obligation to be vegan, because the cost of being on an omnivorous diet is just too great, both to us and to animals. I'm fighting for animals mostly, right? All the detriments to humanity are just like a side note for me. But the cost to animals is too great for us to maybe live a little longer or maybe be a little healthier. But it's also just not true. It's just like the more plants you eat, the healthier you are, generally speaking. So it just happens to be that it's like going plant-based at least is a win-win-win. But I would please encourage you to look into animal ethics and consider animals not as objects. We kind of view them as objects sometimes, not as objects, but as actual individuals that are worthy of our consideration, and go actually vegan, right? Start coming from a place of considering their best interest and the animal's best interest. And certainly you would reach the conclusion that exploiting and killing them is not in their best interest. But also there are like animal agriculture is also just happens to be incredibly detrimental to us as humans. So it would be a win, like 10,000 times over win. If you have any questions, guys, just put it in the chat. I know I'm asking for you to subscribe. It's just to reduce trollhood. That's what it's there for. Yeah, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat. And don't worry about it. Nobody's going to laugh at you here or something like that, right? We're just going to talk about your claim. We're not going to talk about you. We don't know you. We don't know who you are. Just the claims. That's all we're talking about. Well, might makes right is a terrible argument for anything. We should protect the weak. We should protect the weak, not dominate them. Or at least not, the way we view dominion. It's just like destroy, destroy, destroy. Please, let's stop destroying. Literal billions of animals per day, or millions in this case. Millions of animals, or hundreds of millions in case of fish, of animals every single day are just destroyed. We treat them less than objects. How fucked up is that? Like, I think most people take care of their toothbrush better than the animal they eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? And I understand that most people don't do it themselves, right? They just pay for it. But I think we should start taking into consideration, maybe there are kind of ways to get to the same place of being fed, being healthy, being well fed, right? Or well taken care of. And there are some things that are just like straight up preposterous. Nobody needs zoos. We don't need zoos. We don't need circuses and whatever it's called. What is it called where they trap orcas and shit, and dolphins and stuff? It's kind of circuses, but we don't need that stuff. We don't need leather in the 21st century. We have things that are much better than leather these days that can protect us better than leather and have, like, say, destroying the environment the least, right? Did you know that vegan leather, even when it's made out of polyurethane, is just like less detrimental to the environment and obviously the animals than like actual leather? Holy shit. Do I have something on leather here? I think I do. Yeah, leather production, holy shit. It's just this one, for instance. I should find a way to make those bigger without compromising stuff. Yeah, so like I can grab you this thing. Leather is just detrimental to the environment, even when comparing to polyurethane leather. But we also have like mycelium leathers and shit, you know. Freshwater ecotoxicity, leather wins. Global warming potential, leather wins. Human toxicity potential, carcinogenic, leather wins. Holy shit. And you can view it with Kampua. Kampua in India that produces a lot of leather for the world. It's basically a dead town, man. It's a dead town. Oh, a region, I guess. It's not a town. Maybe it's a town. I don't know. I'm not sure. And the cancer risk is like 40, or cancer prevalence is like 40 times than any other region. Holy shit, man. So much scientific evidence that leather is worse in almost every possible way. Polyurethane leather is worse for fossil fuel potential, but not by much. The rest, leather is just destruction. And obviously the animal that was slaughtered for it. In case of India, there's like specific animals being slaughtered for it. Absolutely horrific, guys. Absolutely horrific. If you have questions, if you have claims, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. You can unsubscribe later. It's just to prevent trolling. What's up, crutches? India is much less developed, not thinking that has anything to do with it. Maybe, but like the destruction that happens in there to produce the leather that we in the West wear without even thinking, right? We're obviously not thinking of the animals because it's like direct. Leather just means the skin of the animal, right? And in some languages, it just directly means that. You just say skin to mean leather. It's horrific stuff. But also it destroys the humans. It causes like, I don't think I have it here, but it causes like 20% of world's water pollution. Fucking bonkers. Fucking bonkers. Why would people still wear leather in 21st century? Anyway, guys, real. Any way you look at it, at least go in plant-based. If you just like don't give a shit about animals at all, at least go in plant-based is like just the smartest thing to do in the 21st century. So please consider it in 2025. But also please consider the animals. Like developing empathy towards animals is not a bad thing. As you can see, I've showed you in several topics, but I can show you so much more. It's incredibly detrimental to us as humans to view animals as objects, to not consider them as individuals, as they are. They're individuals, they are sentient, they are conscious. Yeah. Guys, why is there a vegan on vegan crime there going on in my chat? Is there a vegan on vegan crime going on? Or am I misunderstanding? April, thank you for joining. I'm not vegan, but I am vegetarian. I will be going vegan once my chemo is complete. I'm sorry to hear. I'm so sorry to hear. I require the protein now. I haven't worn leather in 22 years. It's disgusting. I agree. So protein, you know, April, I think of all people, you have like the best like excuse to take your time there. But you know, there's like really, really high protein foods, plant foods. You know, I don't think there's so much protein in the vegetarian foods that requires like eating vegetarian foods, right? If you need help with it, by the way, let me just like, I don't know where you are on. I'm just gonna give you my email. And if you need help with anything, you know, even just like, I can send you recipes or whatever. But I hope you feel better. I'm really so sorry to hear that you're on chemo. And I appreciate you coming into my chat. What do you think about lab-grown meat? Depends. So some of the lab-grown meat still exploits and slaughters animals. Well, I guess not slaughter, really. Other doesn't. So that one I support vehemently. The lab-grown meat that doesn't exploit animals, it's like a huge win. But even if it does exploit animals, I will take it for now, but I will fight them later to stop exploiting animals as well. They do have the potential to do so. They do have the potential to stop exploiting animals at all. But I'm a huge proponent of lab-grown meat. I think it's the best technical improvement that we can have to make a lot of people at least plant-based. And I think it will be like a cascade of like tumbling, like at least killing the meat production, right? I think it has the potential to do so. As vegans, I understand some vegans have issues with lab-grown meat. I understand the issues. I think the issues are literally logical, right? We need to go through this logistically and logically. I think vegans should become really big supporters of lab-grown meat. Financially, even if you can, right? I'm thinking of investing in lab-grown meat. I don't know. I don't know how to invest, so I'm a little scared of it. Yeah, Lewis supports lab meat technology. I think we should be biggest supporters of it. It has the potential to become like this first domino to tumble all the animal agriculture down. So I think it should be. And I think anybody in the chat who are not vegan, I think lab-grown meat would be like a good solution to you down the line. But for now, you should become plant-based. It's just like every human goal that you can think of will be more attainable on plants, on like, while not exploiting animals, not killing animals. Every single goal would be better in a vegan world, would be more attainable in a vegan world. Unless the only goal that you have in your life is pure hedonism. And then we can't talk about ethics, unfortunately, I think. Dairy is unethical. Correct, Tom. Lactose intolerant, good. Yeah, appetite is a problem when on chemo. I would like hope, April, that you are open to trying some things, new things. Like, for instance, I think tofu would be like an amazing replacement for eggs, both because it's much, much higher in protein and because it's like neutral in taste. You can just basically add whatever taste you want. And the firm tofu even has like a texture of the egg whites, right? When you fry it. And you can add whatever like flavoring to it that you want to make it palatable for yourself, I think. Yeah, and take care of yourself, April. I hope you get better. Best of luck, for real, for real. By the way, April, Arian is here to gaslight you. So, be careful. Yeah. You haven't used tofu much. It's fantastic. At first, it's kind of weird, right? Because you're not used to it. But it's really good stuff. It becomes really tasty. It becomes... these days, I just crave tofu. Every time I start talking about tofu, my mouth fucking waters. It's like, oh, I don't know how Tone does it. I don't know how, Tone, how do you do it? How are you in both places at once? Are you just listening to the VC and just reading the chat here? Well, if you are, you're not gonna answer me. I just bought a 6 tubs of tofu. I buy this tofu, this fantastically tasty tofu, made in China. Thank you, China. It's like 200-gram blocks, and it's like just perfect for me. And yeah, you're listening to both, crazy fucker. Thank you, I appreciate you. I can't multitask. I don't have split attention like at all, like zero of it. I'm just not capable of it. Guys, I'm gonna go soon. This was fantastic, by the way. I enjoyed it really very much. So thank you everybody who turned up and gave us something to talk about in this chat. I appreciate you all. I think it's of great hope to me that people are willing to converse about this and don't just like dismiss us, because I think when you dismiss somebody's points without listening to those points, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Arian, don't piss Tone off. Yeah, don't test him. He's wise and just, but he what is it called? Yields in iron something. And he has mod privileges in my chat, so be careful. This is what I'm saying. Be careful. What did you say, by the way? I have the privilege of watching what Tone deletes. Oh. Tone. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, that's funny. Oh yeah, Arian has been busy boy. All right, guys, this seems like a good place to stop. I appreciate everybody. I'm here almost every Wednesday and almost every Friday. If you want to come back, if you think of rebuttals for veganism, you want to come back and add to the conversation. This is really cool. Whenever the VC is empty, I think it's a good idea to do this. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate you all, and I see you next time.